Okay, now that I've gotten the exterior buildings done, I have to now go through and do a lot of the little details that I've been avoiding. And one of this is the crane. I kept looking at Pinterest photos and trying to just constantly get inspiration, but getting inspiration isn't actually doing the thing. So I had to actually go through and build it. This crane is for moving items from the lift to wherever, mainly like the geology area, which I have not touched. And that was the thing I was most excited for, and now it's the most forgettable thing. It's been an interesting 2026. I've been sick at the beginning of both months so far, so that's great. Additionally, I've been busy with other stuff, real life stuff. Yeah. So my progress in this area has dropped significantly since probably, I'd say, August or September. And there's several reasons for that. One, which I won't say. But one is I, for some reason, decided to watch all the Tinkerbell movies again because I hadn't since I was a kid. And then I got super excited about the idea of like building a fairy land, and so my friend Red and we started building a fairyland together, and this included a giant tree. Now, we didn't think through this at all because we started this both as we were getting new jobs, so progress quickly stalled and it's very incomplete, but I do like the area. I will show it eventually. So this area kind of got abandoned, and I had to kind of force myself to get back into it. Yeah, but like I said, started a new job a while ago now, and that took and still is taking most of my time, as it obviously should. So here I'm just building the counterweight for this crane, and I'm just doing it freehand. This was something I envisioned I would build in creative, then move over, but I just never did. And I knew that if I wouldn't ever get to it if I tried to do that. So it blends in with the area, but that's kind of the point with these things. I don't want it to really stand out in the same way the hopper does. So now I'm moving on to my next project, which is tunnel. I've always had this tunnel to make it easy to get in and out of my storage area and the other side of the mountain, but I wanted to make it actually work, and I needed an area to get into the Mars area. So something else that happened is I acquired a new laptop. I will use the word acquired because it was a whole saga of the person wouldn't get rid of it unless I took it, so I took it, and yeah, had to have this person get rid of the laptop because they had like 5, and I was telling them you need to downsize. And this new laptop looks great for playing games and stuff, and yep, I almost died there. Yeah. And then, yeah, it works well for games. Minecraft runs so much better on it. However, editing does not. So that's where my issue has been. Even watching this playback as I'm narrating, it's super disjointed, which makes it very difficult to talk over. And it's the new laptop was something I needed because I needed a separate work and home laptop, so it's made it a lot easier. Because that was a big part of why things slowed down, is I was constantly needing to transfer stuff to and from an external drive. So that work and home were separate, but this takes care of that problem. So I decided to go with quartz. I don't know why. I wanted this white color. The shells really worked for this too. But then, yeah. The problem is it's very expensive and I kept needing to get more, and yeah, it was a whole ordeal. A downside to the new laptop was I messed up on like setting up a lot of my stuff, so I ended up wasting a lot of footage trying to get my settings going again. Messed up a lot of audio takeaway, and that meant a lot was lost. I was originally explaining what I've been doing else on the realm, but I did that twice, I think, and both times it didn't work for audio, so I gave up on that very quickly. And then probably the last thing, again, other than certain things in my life, is my friend and I, Red, we started a joke panel where we're playing Stardew, and it's been a lot of fun. But that has also meant a lot of energy is spent on that, and it's been kind of fun. We have no idea what we're doing, and yeah, we haven't done anything on there for a while, and that's just because we're both busy currently. I think once, well, no, it's always going to be busy. And as you can see, I'm just counting how many I need because I'm running out of material and I keep getting tired of going back and forth. So you saw I was in the Mars area, and that's just where I need to connect up to because that area you couldn't get into before. So that's the main reason why I'm doing this tunnel. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to be doing this. I decided to have an elevator. I will say I don't want to ever build with quartz again because it's so expensive and I kept running out. That was probably the worst part of this tunnel. I had plenty of pale oak because that's what color the tree is, which I'm hoping to show soon. So the shelves weren't too big of a problem. It was more just I'm using resources from another project. So yeah, here I'm just doing a classic bubble elevator. And you'll see that later on. I'm not really sure how I want to have the entrance because I need something to block the water. So for now, I'm using trapdoors. Eventually, I'll switch it to shelves because I don't like that I have to crouch to get in. So now that that's done, I can work on the other side and then the roof so that it's completed. Here, I realized, oh, I can save some more blocks. And I was being very conservative with my block placement because, like I said, it's awful to constantly be going to the nether and collecting more. Yeah, if I had more time or other things, I would make a better door, but you can see I'm trying to find any full blocks so that I can get as many half slabs or full blocks as I need. In this area, it's not very exciting, but it was something that I needed to get done and it was bothering me. So I'm really glad that I did it. I will say, as of I built this maybe a month or two ago. No, definitely more like 2 to 3 months ago. And I've done a lot more since then. And I'm pretty happy with what I've done since then. So, yeah. So I never really showed around the Mars Dome, but it's a very brief look. And I had to go through and change out the cobble around or the stone around to deep slate. And that took a long time, but it actually wasn't too bad because I was talking with friends. And so, yeah, like I said, if I had more time, I could get creative with like a door or something, but it's just gonna be closed off like that. And yeah, there's kind of like a view of it from the outside. I don't know if I'll put an actual door on it or not. We'll see. It's boring stuff, but had to get done.